Between Frets, a space where female musicians meet and discuss all things music. I'm your host, Genny Jam, and our guest today is a multi-instrumentalist and producer. You can view her music and tutorials on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. Welcome from London, all the way across the waters from us, Chase Ty. Chase, how you
Hi.
doing?
Hi, thanks. I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Oh, yeah. And we want to extend a thank you here at Fret Sisters for taking time out to interview with us. We're really excited to get to know you, have our listeners, view your music and see everything. I want to get started because I took a look at a lot of your videos. And I mean, I see bass, I see guitar, I see keys, I see drums, I even see horns. And just everything is just so intriguing about you. Like,
Thank
how
you.
did you come about it? What's your go-to instrument? I mean, let's hear it. It's awesome.
Um, so I would say how I came about it is I first started as an instrumentalist. So I started playing. See, I think I started playing music late. I started playing when I was 11, but I
Mhm.
know a lot of people start when they're like 5. So
Mhm.
yeah, my first instrument I would say was guitar. Although I did start playing drums like 2 weeks later, so I don't know if that really counts. But yeah, my first instrument was guitar, and then just a little bit later, drums. And yeah, I just started playing at school. We had music lessons just in school, and then that was my first time being exposed to instruments properly, and then it just intrigued me. And then I always had a guitar at home. I just never knew how to play it. So I thought, okay, I could teach myself this. And then I just went on YouTube and like copied different things. Then I discovered like Ed Sheeran. So I used to watch him and then like copy his fingers. And that's basically how I learned how to play guitar, mainly by ear, mainly by watching other guitarists. And then because I had drums, I used to have drumming lessons. So I had guitar and drums, those were my main two. And then I really liked the sound of piano. And we had them at school, so I just used to play along, um, and teach myself that, and then it just grew and grew from there. And then I'll say when I was about 16, 17, I started producing, and then I realized, oh wow, I can put all my instruments together, and I can kind of make it work. So that's how I fell in love with producing. Yeah, and it just kind of grew from there.
So everything was self-taught, other
Mostly,
than the school education that you got in school.
yeah, mostly everything was self-taught. I had a couple lessons here and there. I would say the main thing I was taught was actually drums, and then keys and guitar. I was mainly self-taught. Um, yeah, and then the other day, not well, I say the other day, but not long ago, I picked up saxophone as well. So I've been trying to get my head around that, which is completely different from my other instruments that I play. Um, and yeah, so mainly I was self-taught. Production wise, I went to school to do production. So I used to go to a music school called the Rhythm Studio, which I learned like everything and anything about production. Yeah, and now I'm currently in university studying music production.
Oh, that's great. That's
Yeah.
really good. Yeah, because you produce as well. And I noticed that you produce beats and you sell beats online also.
Yeah.
So was that something that it was just like, wow, I can play all these instruments and now I can, go ahead and monetize off of it, right?
Yeah, I mean, I mainly just like making music, but because I've got so many, like I'll just make and make and make, and because I've got so many just sitting on my laptop, I thought I might as well just put them out because people are asking me, like, where can I get your beats? And I'm like, oh well, they're just here, they're just on my laptop. So I thought, okay, let me create a beat store, and then people can buy them if they please to.
Yeah, that's like something like you have like probably so many grooves, so many kind of like thoughts of, you know, lines and melodies and everything to put together that, you just put them out and it's like being real prolific. I think they call artists that like can just write just a bunch of stuff, right? I
Yeah.
kind of see you as that, really prolific when it comes to music.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I think ideas just come, and I feel like it also depends what instrument I sit down on. So if I sit down on keys, I'll come up with something completely different than if I sat down on guitar. So the melodies and stuff just keep on coming.
Oh yeah, yeah. What is your, I mean, is there a favorite instrument
Oh,
from
people ask me that all the time,
I
and
know.
I never know what to say because I feel like the approach to making music is so different on each instrument. Like the thought process behind it is so different. And I think in different ways when I sit down with different instruments. So it's really hard to pick a favorite. I think I go through phases. So right now I say I'm more in a guitar playing phase, so I play my guitar a bit more than my piano. But before that, I was in a piano phase where I was playing piano a lot more than guitar. So I feel like I go through phases and favor different ones at different times.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I noticed a lot of that you do a lot of tutorials online. And what's so great about that, like then to be able to share that knowledge on, a platform like YouTube or just any social media app. What I like about your tutorials is that you have the chords, kind of diagrams and everything. And is that how do you put that together? And then also what song, is it that you decide, okay, I'm going to pick this song to put
So,
online?
I'm actually a tutor. So I have students that I tutor on mainly piano and guitar, sometimes production as well. Um, So sometimes the ideas come from them. Like if it's a song that they've asked me to teach, I'll create the resources for them, and then I'll think, oh, maybe other people would want to learn how to play this too, so I'll just put it online.
Mm.
Um, Other times it might be a song, so I might have made a cover, and I'll put it online, and then people will be like, "Oh wow, I really like it." So I think, okay, maybe I'll make a tutorial so other people can play along with it too, because mainly that's how I learned how to play, by
Mhm.
looking online and watching tutorials and following people. So I thought, okay, if I can make it, then maybe it will help someone else learn how to play.
When you're able to find stuff like that online, because I know that's like the go-to for
Definitely.
everybody now.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Also as far as like producing and stuff, I also noticed that you co-produced on a song recently that just came out called Deja Vu. And I don't want to ruin the artist's name, but can you pronounce King? I just want to make sure
King,
I pronounce it right.
his name's King Kimputu.
Kimpatu. Okay, yeah, I thought so. I just wanted to make sure. But I
Yeah.
took a listen to the track. So what was your involvement in that? Can you talk about that?
Yeah, sure. So that song came out, we released that in September, and that was really cool. He like approached me actually during the pandemic, so last year, in 2020, he hit me up and he was like, "Oh, I really like your stuff. Would you be able to collab with me on this project? I have a project coming out." And he was really, really excited about it, which obviously drew my attention because I was like, wow, he's so passionate. So I'd really love to work with him. So he came to me with his ideas, and then I put my ideas towards it. So I played lead guitar, electric guitar, and keys on the track. And it was really cool watching it come together because um, we did it in the pandemic, so everything was remote, which was really cool. So we're like sending files back and forth between each other and having phone calls. So it was a really interesting way of making music rather than being there in the same room together, just making it. We had to, try and use social media a bit more. But
Mm,
yeah, it was a really cool project.
that's awesome. Yeah, that's available on all digital platforms. I know you have a link tree, so we'll have these links to get your beats, to look at your stuff, and to stream the song. I'm curious too about when you your recording setup when you produce stuff? Like, what's your setup and stuff? Like, are you Mac, PC, Logic, Pro Tools?
I would say I'm definitely an Apple user. Like literally all of my devices are Apple. So yeah, I use Mac. And then I have my whole setup here with my like monitors and all my instruments. A lot of the instruments I use, well, when I start a song would be like a live instrument. So like I've got my piano here, or I'll start off with either piano or guitar. And then I kind of build around it. I would say my main software that I use, my main DAW would be Logic. Like I've had to learn Pro Tools and Ableton and stuff, but I would say I definitely favor Logic because it's just the one I've always used, so I'm very used to it. But yeah, that's my main setup.
Do you do you create the beats like in a beat maker, or is that, or the drums that are in Logic? I know they have some beats in there, a drum, like drummer or something. Like, how do you create your beats under your music?
So percussion wise, so I always start with the melody on either piano or guitar. Once I have that down and I'm pretty happy with the chord progression, then I'll just listen. I usually use one shots actually. So I find a really good like kick drum or a really good snare and I'll be like, oh, that sounds really cool. And then I'll usually either get a one shot or I'll get a loop, and then I'll chop it up and then just play around with different ideas, and program them manually like that.
Oh, that's cool. That's
Yeah.
cool. I want to get into your gear, and I mean, I know you have like a lot of instruments, so you can
Mhm.
like focus on a few, but I know guitar wise, what's, what kind of guitars and bass or anything that
So,
you
so my favorite guitar that I always use, it's actually behind me here, if you can see it. It's a PRS. It's one of their signature guitars, pause guitar. I think that's the range. Yeah, that's my favorite guitar. Like you always see me playing it over the other ones that I have. But then I also have like a Fender acoustic guitar behind me. And yeah, and then I have my bass that's also a Fender. But I think I'm definitely starting to lean more towards PRS like instruments now. Like I really, really love their feel.
that's awesome too, because I like, you're all the way overseas across the waters from us.
Yeah.
I have, this is a PRS right here. I
Yeah,
don't
I
know if you could see
see.
it, but where I live, I don't live close to the factory, but the factory is in Maryland,
Oh, that's so
which
cool.
is like me going to the shore, probably like about maybe a couple hours or maybe like an hour from here, from the DC area. So they usually have, if you ever come to the States,
Yeah.
every couple years they have an event where they open up their factory and
Mhm.
they let people walk through. They have
Wow.
outside, like third party vendors, set up their shop and sell guitars. So,
Oh, that's
yeah, I mean, yeah, if you ever
wow.
come, you
No,
can come in.
I definitely do. And they always do that in Washington or Maryland.
It's all, yeah, it's always in their factory in Maryland.
Okay.
So I
I,
think, well, I was going to
go
say,
on.
I think that that they're probably going to have one next year. I have this feeling, because of the pandemic. I think they canceled the
Yeah.
one, but yeah, you should. I mean, I know it's not like, it's like a, you know, it's
I
like
mean, no,
here.
I'll definitely have a think about it because I have gone to America quite a lot because I have family over there.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, so I'll definitely keep that in mind. Yeah.
And I'm not an adore, like I'm not getting paid for PRS, but I do love them. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
this is a free event. Like, all you have to
Mhm.
do is register before the
Wow.
deadline, and if you don't, then it's like $50 or something. But
Okay.
so,
But
but
that's
seriously,
still a
like,
cool
I'm plugging them in,
experience.
but I'm not even getting paid. Pay me, PRS.
Yeah.
But but yeah. But the cool thing is that they, you can go in there and see how they build their guitars and everything, and then they have little fun little things, and then concerts and stuff.
Wow.
So yeah,
I
but
definitely need to keep that in mind. That sounds really cool.
yeah, yeah. But well, that's cool. That's cool. The drum set that you're playing, what drums do you have that there? Is that like set up in
Oh no, so that's not here. So here at home I just have like an electric kit because of like neighbors. Like I know I drum very heavy, so I know my neighbors, they wouldn't be having that. But a lot of the time, like if you see me playing drums, it's either in the studio or in my university because we've got so many kits there. They're really cool. So that's the kits you'll see me playing online.
That's cool. One other question that I have that I'm really curious about is because you touch on so many instruments, just like how you were saying the sax is a different way of, doing something like you're using your mouth, some type of lip control, right?
Yeah.
Bass and guitar, you use your fingers. The drums, you're using like all your limbs, piano, you like, is it difficult to, I guess when you were learning these, like the coordination of each instrument,
Mm.
like how was that
Um,
for you?
it's definitely different. So I think I got lucky, and because I learned them when I was kind of like, so I would say I learned the bulk of everything when I was from 11 to about 14, 15. So at those times I was very active anyway. Because I have a sports background. I did gymnastics and cheerleading for years. In fact, I still do. So I was always used to using my limbs. So I feel like for drums, it was quite natural for me with my coordination. And then piano is weird because you have to be coordinated using your left and right hand, but it's in a completely different way. So it's really interesting, like thinking about it like logistically, how to get coordination going. I think I probably found it easier with drums than I did with piano, getting like finger fluency. And then with guitar, it's so hard because guitar, because I started it so long ago, I feel like I've forgotten what it's like to be a beginner. So when I picked up saxophone, because I only picked it up last year, yeah, last year. So it was like being a beginner all over again. And I was like, wow, like, is this what it was like like when I first started? Like it was so strange. Because I'm used to just sitting down at an instrument and just running with it. But then with sax, I had to really slow down and be like, okay, let me go from the right beginning and train myself again. So it's definitely weird at the beginning, but moving forward, it just gets easier and easier.
Yeah, probably just like practicing and
Yeah,
mindset and the drive. I mean, you definitely are like the superhero. And even you mentioning the athleticism, I saw on your page that you do gymnastics. I mean, you're like the
yeah.
superhero, really. Everything.
Oh gosh, thank you. Yeah, it's definitely, I think I like to figure things out and I definitely like to be active. So I think every time I sit down, it's just kind of like a puzzle, figuring out how different things work and like see, I like to challenge myself. So if I see something that I'm not quite getting, I like to focus on it. I'm like, yeah, I could do this, I could do it. So yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, that's definitely inspiring. Um,
Thank
do you have any plans to like put out music, or is there anything, from, current projects to future projects that'll be coming out?
Definitely. So I'm thinking about doing an instrumental EP. That's just like fully instrumental. Like I do want to do one with obviously vocals and stuff. But I want to have an instrumental EP, just focusing centered around the music. But I'm also currently working with a director on a short documentary that's coming out soon. And I'm going to be doing the soundtrack to that as well, which is going to be cool. Hopefully, that should be released early next year. So yeah, those are the two things that I'm working on currently, and then I'm working with some other artists, getting their music sorted and stuff.
That's exciting. And the soundtrack stuff, that's got to be great to actual score to a film.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very interesting, and yeah, it's a different. I would say it's a different mindset. Looking at image and then thinking, how can I evoke these feelings, and how can I portray how these people are on camera. So yeah, it's definitely interesting.
So are there any plans, like do you perform out in the area where you're at?
Yeah, so I have performed a bit less because of obviously the pandemic.
Yeah. Mhm.
But I got to start back this summer when everything opened up a bit more. So that was really cool. I've been performing with a band called Velvet Fire. They're a duo, and they're really, really cool. They're an like R&B type band. They're very, very cool.
Oh,
Um,
shoot. We
yeah,
need to
so
look them up.
yeah, definitely have a look at them. Yeah, they're really cool. Yeah, so I think we should be having another show coming up as well. So that should be cool, getting back on the stage.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Well, hopefully you'll come to the States.
Yeah, definitely.
And
That would be so cool.
yeah. So it was so great to speak to you and know more about you. We're going to be putting on your links and your social media. Can you shout out your social media for everybody
Cool.
here?
Yeah, so all my social media is under Chase Time Music. So Chase CHASETY and then music. So yeah, I'm on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. Yeah, everything should be under Chase Time Music.
Okay, well, there it is. Be sure to visit Chase's social medias and to look up Deja Vu by King Kimputu.
Yeah, yeah.
Please forgive me. um,
It's okay.
and purchase her beats, check out her music, look at her tutorials. Thank you again, Chase. We
Thank you
definitely
for having
appreciate
me.
it. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, it's been really cool.
Awesome. Okay. Well, thank you. Have a good day.
Thanks. Bye bye.
Bye.